It's the Movie Toasty Show, here for you. Dennis and Adam joke about orgasms and sweet movie reviews. We talk about TV too, right?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah! Movie Toast.
Hey, what is up, Toasties? Good to see you. Hope you're having a great week since the last time you heard from us. How you doing, Adam?
I am doing swell, my friend. We are recording our pre St. Patrick's Day episode today. I'm excited, dude. A lot of good stuff.
Oh yeah, me too. It's kind of some, I guess now for you folks that might be out for a week or two or a few decades, but fun movies to talk about this week. I was really looking forward to sharing the these particular reviews with you, and I know we had some fun in the most previous episode as well, but I think
yes,
the post holiday vibes here should have a good. Oh, see, they're excited too.
Yeah, that person's enjoying it.
That they are.
And
man,
let's not forget, next episode 186, we're going to be together in the same room for the first time recording.
Yes,
So
that's
that should
right.
be interesting.
Very excited for that. Adam and I will be at WonderCon in Anaheim, California. Really looking forward to it. Like you said, it's going to be a live stream with the both of us together, live episode. It's so much fun. I'm very much looking forward to that. Might be a little bit different sounding, but bear with us as we will do our best to make all the things we're used to being across the country from each other. So it'll be a different step for us.
We'll see what could go wrong. Maybe we won't even be able to live stream it. Who knows if the hotel will have good Wi-Fi? I don't know.
That
we'll have
I'm
to find out.
scared of. We'll have to, yeah.
But we could still record the episode, put up the video later. It doesn't matter. People aren't here for that episode. They're here for episode 185. And
that's right.
Boy, oh boy. I don't know, man. I'm ready. You ready for a little poll action?
A little poll action. Let's do it.
Oh yeah.
Polls,
all right.
polls. That's my favorite part. Just hearing you.
Sometimes I'm like, which one of us is that? No, I don't. It's easy to tell who's who. I think if you listen to the show, you should know. I'm on the show and I don't even know. On the last episode, I reviewed the latest and greatest Dune movie, Dune Part 2. So I wanted to know what the Toasties' favorite book series turned into a film franchise was their favorite out of Jurassic Park, Dune, Harry Potter, and The Lord of the Rings.
That's you got good choices there. I'm curious, sir, this time, which is your first choice out of these?
I mean, I'll be honest, the only ones I read are the Harry Potters. I read a little bit of Jurassic Park, and I attempted to read Lord of the Rings, but I'm illiterate, and that's like the Bible-sized book, so I don't know. I mean, but out of movie-wise, it's a toss-up between Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, I think. I think if I had to choose, and I guess I do have to choose, I'm going to say Harry Potter. And it's a very, very tight race. I don't know. How about you?
Okay, I actually have to double down with you. I would say Harry Potter. In all upfrontness here, that's the only series I've read every book of. So at least I can say that. But the books were great. The films were quite enjoyable, and they still stand up because I just watched all of them recently, like last time I was sick. It's still a good time. I don't know.
I feel like at least once a year I'll watch all of Harry Potter films and then probably all of the Lord of the Rings films. But Jurassic Park, I don't know, I get to every now and again. Dune, I just got into that series, so fuck them. I mean, visually stunning, but come on.
You still got to earn its place, I guess.
for the new trilogy of Jurassic World movies they're going to be making that has no connection to any of the other things, but they're going to call it a continuation?
You know, I'm so over the Jurassic universe that I could really care less.
Damn.
I don't know, man.
I mean, it is written by the original Jurassic Park film screenwriter, but I mean, that's not saying much, I suppose.
We could have a movie where we could bring all of the original cast back, and it still sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
Although
I would totally be behind it if we find out Wayne Knight's character is still alive. Fucking Neville's like kicking it in the Bahamas somewhere, and just then dinosaurs come out of nowhere and he has to save the day. Sign me up for that. Newman fighting dinosaurs. And I guess you can toss Sam Jackson in there too. If you want to.
He somehow survived. He's just got a stump for an arm, or better yet, he's got some crazy robotic, I don't know, some sort of cybernetic enhancement.
Or all our favorite dead characters come back from the dead as zombies, and it's zombies versus dinosaurs. Sounds fucking terrible, but I'd watch the shit out of it. Ooh, so that's true.
Dinosaurs get back up, and
oh my God. I mean, that'd be a battle royale. I'd be down for it.
Zombiesaurus. How about we just make it? We just make a movie called Zombiesaurus.
Spielberg's taking notes. I mean, you could, but now it's out there in the ether. In the ether, people are going to take it. They're going to run with it.
I wouldn't doubt it. Give it a couple years. We'll see it. We'll see it come around.
Right. So
what the Toasties have to say, though.
To my surprise, Dennis, or maybe not the way you just answered that last question I asked you, 0% for fucking Jurassic Park. I thought that'd probably be in the top 3, but I was wrong.
Well beyond the books, right? Because there's only 2 or 3 Jurassic Park books, aren't there?
And I hear in the first movie, the book, you see John Hammond get eaten alive by dinosaurs. That'd be pretty cool. But you don't see it in the... Yeah. They took creative liberties, I suppose.
That they did.
I mean, but at least by the 4th one, there was fucking Margaritaville. So, I mean, there's a win for everybody.
It's very true.
13% said The Lord of the Rings. I'm like, I thought that'd be higher up too.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. It's a tight fucking race. Then 25% said Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
So we're leading into 63% for Dune, but I think it's just the film effect. If we put this out there when there was no new material of any of these, I bet it'd be a different number, different ballpark figures.
A year from now, the Dune number, I'm sure, would be a lot lower. Harry Potter would definitely be higher. At least Potter, 1 vote for fucking Jurassic Park.
So that's going up. I would hope so. By then, we might have the 6th, 7th Jurassic Park movie, or maybe a zombie T-Rex. So anything could happen.
I'm here for that, though. Give me the zombie
100%.
That's what
I'm telling you. It's bound to happen. It's gonna happen. It's just you got to give it some time. Speaking of time, Dennis, some movies age fine like a nice wine. Will Madam Web? I don't know, but I reviewed that with you. We tag teamed it on episode 184, and I wanted to know what the Toasties' least favorite Sony Spider-Man spin-off film was out of Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Morbius, and of course, Madam Web. I feel like I know what your answer is because we talked about this last week, but has anything changed? Yeah, no, there's development.
No, it's still Madam Web. It's that it would still be my least favorite. Like I would rather watch Morbius twice, I think.
Damn.
Watch Madam Web again.
That's saying something.
Yeah. All 3 of the other movies, I'd rewatch all of them before Madam Web. I just
some big words. I mean, yeah.
It was and I feel bad saying
you're getting about 7 hours worth of shit by watching the 3, but you're getting like under 2 hours of one shit, but that 2 hours feels like 12 hours. So it's like, what's the greater of the two evils?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Wow,
that's, I had such hopes. But
I'm with you.
Yeah. Is that the same for you as well?
Yeah, because like you said, the other movies had stuff that was noteworthy, and by noteworthy, there was decent things, and at least there was connective tissues to other universes of Spider-Man that we know and love.
Yeah.
So this one just was like, hey, you like something? Don't worry, it's not connected to this garbage pit. I'm gonna say garbage pit. So the Toasties say 0% for Venom. Let there be carnage. I guess people really like that one. Add a little Woody Harrelson. Add a little fucking carnage action.
I'm down for the carnag. I'm good. I'm good.
You got yourself a stew.
Yeah. All right. It's yeah. No, that makes sense. Which is funny because I think people still liked when it first came out. They still said the first one was better, right?
Yeah, I thought so.
Which I would agree. It was still, I don't know, but I think Tom Hardy is a much more dynamic and interesting performer to begin with. So both of those definitely should be down at the bottom of this list, I feel.
You think 8% said Morbius. It's Morbin time.
Okay. We're just more.
I'm a little shocked by that.
Your faces, huh? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Jared won you over. Jared.
Hey, that's 30 Seconds to Mars, baby. Is that his band?
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. I don't listen to his music.
The guy's insane, but he's an interesting actor, so I'll keep watching the crap he's in.
Right? He's bound to hit it out of the park again at some point.
Oh yeah.
Felt like he was all right in the Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah.
Heard he was good in American Psycho.
And then what about damn it. That
one.
Gucci.
Oh. Yeah, he was that Italian guy, the cousin of Gucci cousin,
right,
as I call him.
And he was just doing the crazy age makeup, and they just made him all scraggly.
But uncle, what if we make this a new suit that the people will like? It's so great. Good stuff. But hey, and he's currently working on Tron Ares. Who doesn't want to see the third Tron movie after the last bullshit one?
Hey, it's only taken 50 years to make 3 movies. Let's keep on this pace.
Why so quick? Why rush? Why are you rushing it?
Yeah,
give it a few more. Let it fucking brew to the top. Let it get a little older. Let it vote. Let it drink. 33% for Venom.
Ah, wow. So they
not
hated on Venom that much. But it's funny that many still chose that to be that's okay. Okay.
Right. Of course, no surprise here. 58% for Madam Web.
Yeah. Sorry, Sony.
It's rough.
Sorry, everyone that was on the movie. You guys tried, but it just did not sync up, man. That was not the business. Not
going to win them all.
No. I have to agree with you on that one, Toasties. That you made the right choice.
Maybe they'll make a second one, and we'll get what we were promised in this one, and it will be the Let There Be Carnage of the franchise, and people will like it. I mean, that sounds like something stupid that Sony would try to keep that Spider-Man license. Yeah.
Right.
The long con.
Hey.
Got to keep it.
Morbius 2. Let's do it.
You betcha.
Cross them over. Have them all start showing up in there.
I mean, they should. Why wouldn't they?
Like we said last time, man, Sinister Six. We got to do the whole team. And then it's just bad guys duking it out with bad guys for a minute before we finally, Disney's like, okay, here's 10 seconds of Spider-Man on camera for you.
That's all you need.
One film.
You sprinkle Spider-Man in there slightly, and people be like, "Oh my god, that's great!" And if you fucking put a Tobey Maguire, or if you fucking drop in a fucking Garfield, people will be like, "Oh yeah!" They'll be coming in their jeans. They'll be wetting their basements. It'll be a fucking fanfare for the fucking ages.
Wetting their basements. I
didn't know how else to say it.
I liked it. Mother Nature just pissed her pantsuit. Oh
man. Yeah.
Danny.
Man.
Some good polls. Some good pole action.
I think so. Good
Got all the way up
times,
that thing.
bad times, times were had. But I
I've
think
had my
it's
share.
time for a little thing called reviews. And I think you're going to start us off with something
I'm ready.
sweet, something spicy. I don't know what it's about, so I'm intrigued.
Oh, there you go. It's this is it's a fun one, folks. I'm going to be reviewing Bird on a Wire.
Nice.
This is the 1990 action, somewhat romantic comedy classic. We got Mel Gibson, Goldie Hawn, and they're getting into some shenanigans. Okay, so really, it's 15 years prior to these current events. They were together, they were dating, they were engaged, about to be married. She said she was left at the altar, but he turned up dead. They had a funeral for him. She's believed this whole time this guy's been dead. Turns out he got involved in some horrible drug deal gone bad, and he became like one of the key witnesses for the FBI to put away one of their own. And we got bad guys played by Bill Duke and David Carradine, who are FBI agents turned drug dealers. And
classic,
right? And because Gibson is the key witness, they put him in witness protection, and he's been moved all over the country. He's uber paranoid too, though. So like he changes names pretty often. They got to move him around pretty often. Bill Duke's character, he actually ran away. He hid in the desert or whatever the fuck for however many years. And then David Carradine's character has only just been released from prison because of whatever charges they were able to get him for. It only kept him in for 15 years. So he's out and he wants revenge. Cut to, we've got Goldie Hawn feeling like she's gassing up her rental car while she happens to be in.
Is that what the kids call it
downtown.
these days?
Oh yeah. She's gassing up her rental in like downtown Detroit, where a familiar face is there working the service station, and it's her old flame that she believed to be dead. Mind you, he gets uber paranoid. He realizes it's her. Yeah.
All right. So
Good question.
did he begin in Detroit? They're like, you're in Witset,
No.
but we're going to leave you in the same city. Okay. I was like
No,
a little
no.
confused by that.
They're
Okay.
from she's now like a very successful like corporate lawyer.
Nice.
She makes millions of dollars. She's seeing this other guy, but it's very like she seems kind of not
Sure.
really into it. But she's only
He's
in
no
town
Mel Gibson.
for yeah, right. With that mullet, are you kidding me? Who would
Not
walk
the
away from that?
Weaver.
Oh God.
No Fury Road there.
No.
I guess no Thunderdome.
Thunder, there you go. Thunder, that's even better. Apex mullet in that one.
Sorry, I will let you
Although
finish. I
Lethal
will mute
Weapon-
my mic.
You're good. So he gets found out. His handler is taken off the job, and he's handed a new guy played by a very familiar face, Stephen Tobolowsky, Ned Sanderson from Groundhog
It's funny.
Day.
When you were saying that she was seeing someone else, I pictured him in my head as that type of character because
Oh,
he's
that's
so
funny.
like docile and like I don't know why I pictured him, and now he's in the movie. Fucking dreams
He does-
do come true, Dennis.
He doesn't play that guy, but he does talk.
I know he
to
doesn't play that
character.
guy, but I just love seeing him
Those
pop
characters
up in
cross
things.
over. Oh, it's great. Oh no, totally.
He's a
I'm
great
with you.
guy.
I'm with you, and he's like still doing it too.
Oh yeah.
So all of that set up, right? And now we're on the run because we got found out, and Bill Duke and David Carradine are coming after him, and it's wacky, zany, like stunts adventures. They're climbing on buildings and high-speed chases in cars. That is 90% of this movie, though. There's no like plot development. They almost immediately it's announced that they're both still in love with each other. It's just shocking the fact that they've been apart, right? But there's just no other story to it till we get to the end and we have like this big final battle in a fucking zoo that he used to work at. And that's what's funny is everything is just people and places he used to work at or people he used to know and under different names. So she's like, oh baby, you're just gonna have to bear with me. And he plays like a gay hairdresser in one place, and he goes to the like I said, the final battle's at the zoo. Well, the guy who he was going to get help from, he is also
Where else would you have a final battle? The zoo's the
zoo?
best
Oh,
place to
right.
do it. It's
No, we're-
probably you're in Detroit. What are you going to be in the streets that are ablaze?
Oh no, it's not Detroit anymore. We're traveling all over.
Oh.
Like we're going all over the country. That's the thing. The movie takes place like it's not really a road movie because just like it's like boom, all of a sudden we're here, then boom, all of a sudden we're here.
Nice.
It's kind of boring. Got to be honest.
Oh,
damn. As big a spectacle as some of the stunts are, what really kept taking me out of it is the obvious swaps to the stunt performers that are in the movie. Like the guy that's doing, by the way, the 6 different guys that are doing stunts for Mel Gibson all look so wildly different. Goldie Hawn has like another half dozen people playing her double. A couple of them have to be dudes in really terrible blonde wigs. And it's just, it's so funny. In that, like, wow, you really just said, oh, this was okay. You thought you saw that footage and were like, yeah, fucking moving on.
Check the gate.
God, I really was hoping for more, especially from these two. They both anchor some really, really big titles. They're both very entertaining performers. But in this movie with them together, I just could not get into it. I started, to be honest, I fell asleep with 25 minutes left, and I had to finish the movie this morning because I just needed to follow through. But I wanted to like it a lot more. I know that it has somewhat of a cult following. It's just not very good. The best parts about it are, again, some of the bigger stunts are like really big set pieces. The zoo, the contained area that they're duking it out in. Bill Duke joke. That looks really cool. They have fucking live animals. Someone gets mauled by a lion. Bill Duke gets taken down by a fucking lion in the movie.
Damn, spoiler alert, man. People are going to check this out. God damn.
Ned Sanderson, when he's done selling you insurance for the 1000th time, gets eaten by piranhas. It's great.
Keep spoiling the movie for me, Dennis. Come on.
Boom. Spoil.
Damn.
These are the best. Oh, and then Goldie Hawn's butt. I'll be discussing and be that. That's also one of the highlights of the movie. But you have to see a very hairy Mel Gibson ass. So they may cancel each other out. I don't know. It's up to you. That's up for you, the viewer, to decide.
Now, how long are we staying on the butts? Are we like a good 30 seconds per butt? Is it
not that long?
Check out this butt action.
Oh yeah, it's a good 10 to 12 seconds, but it happens like 3 times with Goldie, and one very uncomfortable, gross scene with
Speak for yourself.
Some of that hairy.
It's like an Ewok.
It is. Oh Jesus! And then his accent comes in so many times where he's like reintroducing himself to one of his old connections. It's like under his whatever this name is. There's one scene I'm like, oh, so he's like plays Australian when he talks to this person. Oh wait, no, because it slowly turns back into an American accent. I'm like, oh my god, I'm an American. Hey, remember when I used to live here? Like it's just fucking. It's that as bad as my Australian accent just was. That's how bad his American accent is in several scenes in this movie.
Damn.
I wanted to like this more. It had some thrilling moments. There's some scenes that were kind of funny and were kind of neat, but I liked Action Jackson more. I only gave Action Jackson 2.5 slices, by the way. So
Action
Bird
Jackson.
on the Wire. It's full of action. Bird on the Wire. You can watch it on Netflix right now. It just got added to their library. I'm going to give it 2 slices of toast. Rather mediocre. It's much. As soon as I think I'm starting to get a little bit more, it just kind of stays at a steady plateau. Maybe you like it more. Maybe nostalgia's sake, that'll take you back, but just didn't quite do it for me.
Damn. That is a bit of a sad letdown to me, my good sir. I mean, were there any birds? Were there any wires? Like
there were a lot of birds in the zoo. Cockatiels, I believe, with the plumage on the top of the head.
Okay.
A lot of animals actually right
Fair
at the
enough.
end. This is like, you know what? We're gonna save this budget up. We're gonna rent a fuckload of animals, and that they did.
Fuck yeah. Hey, why not? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, 2 slices. I thought you were gonna give lower, so I mean, 2's a decent ride.
I didn't completely hate it. It's just it's one I don't think I'm ever going to go out of my way to watch again. You know, it's one
Fair
of those
enough.
like, okay, I've seen it now. I've heard about it enough. I've seen parts of it, but I don't think I need to see it again.
I got you. Let me move us in a different direction, Dennis. I'm taking us over to the horror realm. I got the latest Blumhouse film, Imaginary. So it's about this family. There's a young daughter, probably 6 or 7. Then there's a teenage daughter. Their mother has kind of lost her mind. The father is divorced from the mother. The mother is mentally not there. And they now have a stepmother who's just the sweetest, kindest lady. And they decide to move into her childhood home because they've recently moved her father into a nursing home. And while they're there, this little girl, the little daughter, finds this hidden area in the basement and finds this cute little doll, this little teddy bear. And it becomes her imaginary friend named, I want to say Chuck or Charles. It doesn't matter. I'm fucking up the name. She has an imaginary friend and it's cute. It's everyone's embracing it, but then weird shit starts to happen. And then we find out there's something menacing happening here. And honestly, this whole time, at one point, the dad is a musician, so he goes on tour with his band, and it's the mother with the 2 kids. So wild things ensue. Because, of course, the teenager doesn't get along with her. And the little girl used to get along with her, but now has her fucking Chauncey. Chauncey is the name of the bear. Has Chauncey there, so she doesn't need any part of the fucking stepmom. And then there's this old neighbor lady who's a little creepy. And we're like, what's going on with her? I don't know. Will she be pivotal later on? Probably. I don't know, man. I kind of avoided the trailers for this because I'm like, the poster alone has me. You got a cute little beard. It's menacing. Something's up. Let's do it. This movie was taxing for me.
Man.
It was long. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. It was hitting the beats that it should. It had decent set design and decent cinematography and whatnot. And everyone was giving a decent performance. Everything was decent. We'll leave that the word that kind of covers everything. Decent, but it just wasn't great. And you want it to be scared. And I guess it's a PG-13 movie, so you get what you get.
Okay.
But then in the third act, it takes a crazy left turn, and that's when I really got into it. I'm like, all right, this is what I wanted. They go to some places that I did not expect, but I rather enjoyed. And it was funny. I was in the bathroom and I heard these 2 grown men talking. And they're like, that was something. I'm like, oh, they're going to shit on this. And one guy's like, yeah, that was tame. That was tame as fuck. And they're like, yeah, but it was good. It was scary. It was good. And I'm like, wow, that's not what I was expecting from this conversation. And it was fine. But I feel like Blumhouse is known for having some good fucking horror movies. And this,
it's starting to slip, right? The name,
it really is
neat. They're kind of degrading in quality because they're cranking out so many so often. I feel like
it's like every other month there's a new Blumhouse. And this movie has a couple of twists and turns I didn't see coming, but they feel like they think they're so smart and smug about it. They're like, oh, you didn't see this happening. And it's like, okay, cool, but it's not that great of a reveal. It's fine, but don't fucking toot your own horn. And they do. I don't know. Imaginary, it's fine. If you're a teenager, maybe it's for you. If you're a little kid, maybe it's scary. For me, an adult, not so scary. I'm going to give Imaginary, currently in theaters, 1.5 slices of toast.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I got to say, when they were pushing the trailers really hard, I finally watched it. And I just remember thinking, I don't want to see this. It's just I felt like you saw the whole movie, which it's good to hear. There is a twist in the third act, but it was like, I don't want to wait around for an hour 25 minutes to then finally get the movie to get moving. I'm kind of tired of this. We don't need.
And it's funny. This is one of the bigger movies of the week that just came out, movies that just came out. I put the poll out on social media. I'm like, hey, what movies you want to see? This got no votes, but I'm like, I got to toss it in there because I got to represent one of the bigger movies in the box office. But
oh, for sure.
Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. But I wanted people to know you don't got to rush out to see it. Check it out when it comes out on fucking Peacock or whatnot later on.
Yeah.
But
they did have cool bus bench ads, I will say, where they were like the lenticular posters. So when you're looking straight at it, it's just like your best friend or something. It was imaginary. Here's the bear. But when you look at it from the right angle, it all turns black, and there's like written in blood, and it's like I forget what the phrase was, like I'm coming for you, or I'm here for you, or whatever. Something about being right there
in blood.
Yeah, and it's like I was like, okay, that's you got my attention with your advertising, but clearly they're compensating for maybe a less.
Yeah, I was picturing kind of more like a Child's Play thing, but the beer doesn't really do anything. And like, I will say, I wasn't a fan of Megan. People loved Megan. I will say this was slightly better than Megan, in my opinion, but Megan had more of a story and was more compelling and had more horror. This was just like, all right, cool. It felt like it could have used another script revision, a nice little flushed out extra draft. I don't know. And it's interesting because last episode we were talking about how much we love the Kick-Ass movies. And I think this is directed by the director of Kick-Ass 2. And I'm like, those are very different types of films. Also not a great film, but I don't know.
I was going to say, well, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will avoid, unfortunately.
But I have something that's now available on Amazon Prime. I'm talking about the new Peter Farrelly Peter Farrelly. Every time I say Farrelly, whatever it is, I want to say brothers. Peter Farrelly, his latest film, Ricky Stanicky. So it's been a while since we've got a Farrelly Brothers movie. I think it was Dumb and Dumber 2. And then they kind of broke off and did their own thing. The last two things that Peter's done was Green Book and The Greatest Beer Run Ever. So he hasn't really done comedy in a while. And this is a script that he's been kicking around for years. At one point, there's talks about Jim Carrey being the character Ricky Stanicky. And of course, now, Jim Carrey is not really acting very much. So anyways, this is about three best friends since childhood. They got into some troublesome situations as children and framed a kid named Ricky Stanicky. And he was always their go-to person to get out of trouble. And now these guys have grown up and they're men, and they're still using Ricky as an excuse to getting out of doing things with their significant others. And they almost got caught in a lie. And they decide to hire an actor to portray the character Ricky Stanicky to prove to their family and loved ones that he does exist. And they get this washed up Atlantic city performer named I'm going to get his name wrong. Hot Rod Rick. No. Wow. Son of a bitch. Oh man. I got to look this up really. I do apologize. I know this is not the best way to do it, but he has a great name and I don't want to fuck it up. I want to give him justice. And of course,
you give the cast a shout out here too, because I wasn't expecting all of these folks to be grouped together.
It's Zac Efron, Andrew Santiago, fucking Jerome Fowler, and John Cena plays. We'll just call him Ricky Stanicky. But he had like this performer name. It was like hot. God damn it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He performs. He does parody songs of famous like 80s and 90s performers where he substitute the lyrics for jerking off and cum jokes. And he does really good with this. Like he's hilarious. And he's an alcoholic when they meet him. And he gets the Bible of all the stories that were Ricky Stanicky. And he dedicates himself to, he's like a method actor. He's all about it. They call him his regular character name. He's like, no, it's Ricky. And they're like, nobody else is around. We're going to call you by your real name. And he ends up kind of causing chaos in their life because he ends up getting hired at their job. He ends up befriending their significant others. And it's just this really sweet story because this guy went from being this drunken fuck up to this really lovable character. And it's interesting watching the dynamic of these characters. But what's weird is the situations he gets in, these characters act like, oh no, it's out of control. This is crazy. When it's like, no, you guys are used to crazy. Before he came into your life, you were doing crazy shit like him. But now there's like a weird change in character dynamic once he enters the frame. But it's still fine. Like, it's good. It's really fun. It plays kind of like a 90s comedy almost. It definitely feels like something you would have seen back when they were doing Kingpin and Dumb and Dumber and that type of stuff.
Weekend at Bernie's sort of vibe, I feel like. Yeah.
And the characters have really good fucking chemistry together. And I will say a lot of the scenes kind of go on a little too long. And it's like, well, I don't understand why they're not cutting here. They're just going on. And it's not really serving purpose for a joke or purpose for the story. It's just like, all right, we're on this scene. We're about 10 minutes in. Why? I get it, but okay. And I don't know. And I will say they're still doing great work. They have just say he does use handicapped people in this film, like they always do in their film. Actors who are otherwise having a hard time getting work, center stage in this, which I do respect. There's some good LGBTQ things in here. John Cena is fantastic. He has to do more comedy movies, I think.
Yeah.
And it's weird because Zac Efron, he needs a good cast of people to really bring the funny out in him, but he wasn't really as funny as I've seen him in other things. He was fine, but I feel like I wanted a little bit more out of Zac Efron. Andrew Santiago was pretty good. Jerome Fowler was good. William H. Macy is great in this. There's a joke where, like, whenever he's giving a speech and he's passionate, it looks like he's like jerking dicks off. And like the only person to tell him is John Cena's character. And it's just comical watching that. And it's just a fun time. I don't know how else to put it. Ricky Stanicky over on Amazon Prime. I'm going to give it 2.5 slices of toast. Not the best, but definitely not the worst. It's a good time. A throwback comedy. If you want to have a nice little laugh, you'll have a few here and there. Yeah.
Nice. We're seen once. All right. I'll toss that on the queue.
Nice. But you get something else that we're going to tag team a bit that's available on the Netflix.
That's right. At the time of this recording, it was the #1 most popular searched on streaming of, I guess, all the platforms, but including Netflix itself. But that is the Millie Bobby Brown action fantasy flick, Damsel.
Ooh.
That's right. We're running from some dragons, baby. This is kind of supposed to be turning the damsel in distress, princess in peril story on its head, where instead of the princess being rescued, she saves herself. From this far north, magical, not magical at all land, in this fictitious fantasy world, sort of a medieval era Pangea domain. Comes from this very cold climate. Her people are doing very terribly. The food is thin. We have very little to like firewood or anything. Forests have been clear cut. We're stretching everything out for all of the people of our kingdom that we can. And then someone from a foreign land comes and offers to marry their eldest daughter away, which is Millie, of course. And so they go out, they set sail to their land and go to figure out what's meet the prince. Like let's see what's going on. You're come from a very wealthy kingdom, so we'll benefit our people for the tithe, the bridal price, whatever the hell that they used to do back in the day. They would send all this gold so that our son could finally have
like a dowry.
Yes, yeah, there you go. And it starts off pretty like even keeled. I'm like, all right, this is gonna crack off. And of course, as we're getting closer and closer to revealing what the true deal is, it turns out this is a offer of sacrifice. This is now you're in the blood, you're in the family, and bloop, we're throwing you in a pit with a dragon.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And that's kind of like the first 25, 30 minutes, it's like boom, and then we're
30, yeah.
Right? 30, yeah.
And the weird thing is when she goes to meet the family of the family she's marrying into, her dad goes and talks to the king and queen, and when he comes out, something seems off. It's almost like he knows that his daughter is going to be sacrificed.
100%.
And the stepmother, and the stepmother is like, hey, I don't think you should go through with this marriage. These people seem a little dicey. And she's like, that's all good.
Her father is played by Ray Winston. And
Ray Winston.
Her stepmother is played by Angela Bassett, which I'm like, oh, great. Oh, these are some killer names. I was looking forward to seeing a good amount of them. And I was a little disappointed we didn't see much more. At least Angela Bassett's character, I'm like, she's such an amazing performer. Really didn't see too much of her in the movie. Ray Winston.
And then we had
a little
Wonder Woman's aunt as the evil queen.
Yes.
Robin Wright.
Yes. She was creepy. She did a good, like,
oh yeah.
You could tell. I liked the vibe she put out of, like, yeah, she's like the evil queen in all of these fairy tale sort of stories.
Now, I will say, I honestly know there was a lot of CG. It was a CG heavy movie, as you can imagine.
For sure.
But I felt like it was pretty good, especially for a Netflix movie. Comparing this to like the CG we talked about in Madam Web and other films, I feel like this CG was pretty decent, pretty good. I was shocked.
It was forgivable, I feel, because the scale of things was quite large, especially when we were seeing the castles and the lay of the land and things like that. I'm fine with that. The lighting was really good, so everything kind of flowed together. And we live in like a fantastical world anyways, so I don't feel locked into having everything having to be 100% practical. There were things that were practical that I was surprised didn't seem they needed to be. Climbing the crystal cave. You could
I was thinking that had to be crazy to make.
She had to be on that shit for real in a few of those shots versus the large wides. The dragon being voiced by I know a familiar actress for you. We both got through. Oh, you didn't recognize Shori?
I was wondering the whole time.
I know the name. I'm not going to say her name right.
No, I don't know that.
Dashlow. The first thing I always think of with her is she is that season of 24 where she plays the Anwar's wife, the one terrorist wife.
Okay. I think I'm picturing her a little bit.
Load of stuff. She was in X-Men movies. She's in what was the other?
And her voice is perfect, and the reverb and whatnot they add. Oh man, fucking great for a dragon. Just kind of menacing, but also warm and welcoming at the same time, like luring you in.
She had,
and that's what I think this movie did.
Depth to her.
Yes, and like it was kind of cat and mouse game for the dragon, which I really liked. And I feel like what this film does great, it knew how to build tension, and it just didn't give you jump scares. It was like, all right, we're gonna build it. You're gonna feel the tension rising a bit. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I will say. Nothing was really just like there were no amazing jumps in the storyline, but it was a fun ride to go on. Still, the adventure was still cool. It was a little, like I said, it is quite basic as far as.
Did it come a little too easy and simple for Millie's character? Sure, it felt like, oh wow, these other princesses couldn't escape this. Okay, but I will say the action and the brutality in this film, I was not expecting.
Yes, it is very much like, I feel like that demographic we were in when like Pirates of the Caribbean first came out. This is who you're aiming for. It's like the family with the older kids. You know, you're trying to get your the tweens in your family to be interested in watching a movie with you. This is the one right here. It's got, like you said, it's got cool action, interesting cast. I wish there was more depth of story, but what's funny is I think you're kind of nailing it. Maybe it's not so advanced just to keep everyone in the room trying to finish watching it together for once. You know,
true.
Like, they know your interest is probably going to drift here and there a little bit, but it had cool elements. The little glowworm things. It's like that's a nice touch. Like the magic isn't straight magic in this movie. I kind of like everything has a very natural representation in the world. It's just a part of nature. It's not like there's wizards or shit like that.
And it's funny, when she first was pulling the slug off, I'm like, okay, CG, slocky looking slug. All right, this is dumb. And then once I found out what the slug did, I'm like, all right, I buy it, especially in this world. 100% in once that happened. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
everything that was presented to you is going to serve a purpose and get paid off in some manner or another, which was funny because when she first held her hand out and picked it up and set it in her hand, it was right next to the cut. I'm like, oh, watch, it's going to heal her cut. And then she takes it out, puts it away. I'm like, oh, that's dumb. That would have been a great place to have it do some magical thing. And of course, the payoff was better. The way they did it was way better, with her waking up and it looked like fucking glow leeches.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, which of course, in the towards the end of the film, I was like, oh, come on, let's see it. Let's see her throw the fucking glow leeches on.
Yeah.
But
and I will say, this is a good movie if you get young daughters or young women in your life, because it's a very strong female protagonist that just kicks ass and like uses her brain over her fucking strength and bronze. Like, it's not your typical damsel in distress, which is the play on the film, of course, but it's a unique spin on this type of character that I really enjoyed, and I think can be empowering for young women. If
that's
I don't know, I would assume.
I would agree with most of that, because both her what's her name?
Elo's. It was always hard. I felt like it changed a little bit here and there.
Because I like the way the dragon said it, L-O-D, like she's just saying the letters. Elodie and the Queen Isabel are the only two I feel like actual strong female characters in the film. Because you take your stepmother and her little sister, and they like don't really do anything for almost the entire movie.
True.
And it was like, you kind of, what's funny is you create a damsel in distress for our main character to go rescue a couple times. And it's like, I thought we were trying to not do that, but we did it anyways. Okay. I think
some things are hard to break.
Easy, right? And it would have been too cheesy if she had to like save the prince for some reason. I'm like, homie tried to kill you, so I'm glad. Like the way he goes out of the movie, I thought was really on point. I'm like, yep.
Oh yeah, especially what happens to his mother. Just watching what happens, I'm like, wow, there's some fine detail being done here, and I'm loving it. And I love the fire of the dragon. It's not only fire, but it's lava. Yeah. And one of my favorite scenes was watching the flock of birds on fire come out. At first, I'm like, that's some interesting fire breathing power. But then it's like, oh my god, that's birds. Oh my, this is insane.
You picked out two things I enjoyed both of those specific details very much as well. You never see the dragon's fire represented like that. Like the first row of knights when it just the slags out and they're standing on like the puddle and they just start falling into they're in so much pain they just collapse into the lake of fire. And then the bird thing, same thing. I mean, I had the same reaction. It's like, oh fuck, those are birds on fire. Like making you wonder what worse horror is in the next room or the other end of the cave. Those elements were so great, and I think that's what did a great job of keeping the film interesting. Even if it didn't have a very deep story, it still was a cool spectacle, and I liked seeing what was going on screen. Some of the details
100%.
That I kind of you can't think too hard about are like the map of the cave etched in to like the middle of the thing, so they escaped but came back to
it's like a mall directory. You are here.
Yes, exactly.
And it's like, oh, this is that thing, that's that, okay, yeah, I know where I'm going, let's do it.
Right.
All right.
I understand her character is that intelligent, but it's like you're telling me dozens and dozens of other people also made it basically as far as she did, and
for many centuries in the past. So many people
for centuries. Oh my god.
But I do love once you think she's out and the dragon's like, ha, you think you're free? Everyone gets this far, but I'm coming for you. And it's like, oh shit, she's not safe just yet.
Just like, toying around with my food. You make it more interesting. I like that idea of like, oh, at least you're making it fun this time. The dialogue in that direction.
Because there's so many points where the dragon could have killed her right away, but the dragon is like, nah, let's play a game.
But here's another fucked up thing. Clearly, the people get into this place a lot. At one point, her father hires a guy from the town to show him the way in, and You've got all of these other trinkets and bits of gold that clearly are not from offerings. There's other suits of armor that weren't the first knights that we saw get killed. Like, it's like, so what's the fucking deal here? You kind of say it's one thing and then you show me something else. That was
true.
Some of those things really started to bug me, and like, you guys kind of either it was written quickly and we hoped you just didn't pay that close attention, which again, I think that's why it's for the mom, dad, or it's for the parents and for the young teenage kids to try to watch together, because there's a little bit of something for everyone. It's
funny when you mentioned that
one thing.
One scene that was kind of laughable to me is after she fell hard and long from a very high distance, and she was fine. But I love how like she's looking at stuff and she's like, wait a minute, this isn't a tribute. I'm the tribute. It's like, you put that together that quick, okay, and you're cool with this? Come on, I want learn a little bit about this. Think it was an accident. I don't know, although it's hard to think it's an accident when the prince says, I'm sorry, and tosses your ass overboard. But
threw her in there, yeah, exactly. It's like, I think there's only one way to take that.
Yeah, but I really did feel like he felt bad doing it, and I kind of believe what he believed at the last scene we saw him, and I really feel like he didn't want to do it, but he still went along with it, which was ridiculous. Like, I wanted to like him.
What's your queen mother really gonna do?
Sacrifice her ass, dude. She's the worst.
Which that's one of the, to go along with your girl power comment earlier. I liked that she clearly was the one in charge.
Oh, 100%.
King and queen is only title. It's not formal who's actually like ruling the land. She's like clearly the ruler.
He said nothing. He did nothing. He was so forgettable. Sure, she had a presence about her, and it's like, oh boy.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Decent attempt at trying to turn the story in its head. I think it did for the most part. Production design I thought was fucking fantastic. The sets looked gorgeous. Like the carriage they rode in on the way there looked cool. All of the locations looked really awesome. The wardrobe looked cool.
The wardrobe was pretty great too for a period piece like that.
Fuck yeah, absolutely. It didn't get boring. You weren't seeing a lot of the same things over and over again. It kind of gave a little bit of like a Game of Thrones light vibe, where like everyone had very distinct garbs. Everyone was, very much their own.
Had the personality.
Presence. Yes.
And flair. Another scene I really dug when the family was going to their new village to meet the in-laws. When you see in the fog, you see the dragon carved into the fucking stones. That was pretty bitchin'. And just watching the younger sister like running around the castle, just being like amazed by how beautiful the castle was. It's like she's the audience a little bit. That was kind of cool.
She was my least favorite performer.
I could see that.
Delivery was not. It was very like cheesy on the nose. I gotta say, I love this castle. Like, really love this castle. When she said that, I was just like, oh, what is with this? You're breaking into this very modern dialogue, this like very current way of speaking that is far and away from everything else, from the way everyone else has spoken so far in the movie.
But that's not her fault. That's more of the screenwriter's fault and the director for not being like, let's tweak that a bit.
Yeah, dialogue's not her fault, but her delivery is 100% her fault. So that's
true.
She got a little cheesy, but then again, it's because they made her the very stereotypical damsel in distress when you spent so much time undoing that the whole movie. I was kind of bummed to be like, oh, and then you still make her the useless chick. Like it's just like, oh, you didn't need it though. You didn't need it whatsoever. She had the revenge built in. She had the whole like with her father coming back for her and everyone finding out like what's really going on. You should have had Angela Bassett be more of a badass and been like, nope, and now we're gonna like, nope, you don't do that to my kid. That
would have been a nice.
It should have been going 100%. To save her in the castle or some shit, because she stood up to the wrong person. She stood up to the queen instead, or whatever. I don't know. I think you could have added another layer of badassery instead of just having it.
True. Fleshed out some other characters a bit. Yeah. How many slices are you gonna give this bad boy?
I'm doing 2.5. I think it's worth a watch. again, it's like it's one of those. I don't see myself ever going back to watch it again. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a sequel or we attempted a sequel, depending on how well it's
done. Be shocked.
Yeah, like it's especially the way it left off. I'm like, fuck yeah, no one's fucking with you, Millie. Now,
yeah, it's funny. I feel like I've been hearing about this movie forever because I think it went in production back in early 2022. So they really gave their animators and CG people some time to work, which I think more people should do. Yeah,
yeah. The dragon was
they just didn't rush it out.
I like even Val pointed out it kind of had a very Griffin like regal presence and in the stance, like it had like a mane and like the veins of gold on it for some reason. I'm like, I always like
unlike
that
any dragons we've seen.
Yeah. I like that older school representation of that connection to the color gold because dragons are supposed to be drawn to it, like in the Lord of the Rings sort of lore. That was cool. I dug it. It just some of the other things really just stuck out a little too much for me that I wish I would have liked it more. But
fair enough.
Got a little dry in places. The journey itself got a little, but they had moments that would bring me back in. And I'm like, okay, all right, this is why I'm still into it. Why I'm still watching.
It throttled the line a little bit. I'm going to give it 2 slices of toast. I'm with you, and it's weird because I liked it more than you, I think. But yeah, I'm with you. Will I watch it again? No. Would I watch a sequel? Yeah, I'd watch a sequel, I suppose, or a prequel, something. Yeah, I think so.
Right. It's funny. As we were talking about it, I was in my head going to give it 2 slices. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I did like it a little bit more than I thought I did.
It's all good. 2.5 is a good score.
So we are in the same, but we're in the same ballpark though. It's like, without it trying to sound like a burn, it is what it is. Like I didn't expect much going into it. I saw that I didn't even watch the trailer. I watched that little teaser.
Me neither.
When you hover over the button and just her climbing the crystal cave thing. I'm like, okay,
not giving you anything.
It's like this kind of I like using the crown as like a climbing gear.
That was pretty smart.
Shit. Like I'm in for this. I just wish
100%.
more of the movie was that feeling and that
more of a journey to go on, more struggles and issues, not just breezy walking through. Give it a little give and take.
I will say Millie's got the grit for it though. I want to see her in more action oriented adventure things like this.
True.
100%. She's shown time and time again she's got some chops. So
I don't know why I was like getting these like Sandra Bullock vibes from her. I don't know why. Kind of weird.
Interesting.
I'm like,
okay.
My young Sandra Bullock.
That's a cool comparison though. Nice. I'm sure
I don't know why. Oh man. So
nice.
To close out the show, we were talking a little bit about sequels, and I've got a 4th in a franchise. I got Kung Fu Panda 4. So I don't know how much you've seen of the Kung Fu Pandas. I assume maybe the first one, maybe, and that's probably it.
The 3D
trailer
show at Universal, the 4D Kung Fu Panda.
Fair enough.
Short.
So essentially, it's been about the Panda Po becoming one of the highest Kung Fu legends in the world. Kind of just the tip of the fucking iceberg, not the tip, because I guess there's more to go from there. The cream of the crop, and
top of the peak.
There's not very much further. There's not much further that he can go, and he loves it. At this point, he's settled in. He feels like it's the one thing that he was put on this earth to do, to protect, to be the dragon warrior, and he does a pretty good job at it. Until Dustin Hoffman's character, who's kind of like his sensei, is like, "Hey, you've done good, but now you got to move up. You're going to be you got to find your successor." And he doesn't like that. He's kind of against it. He feels like he still has some more work to be done. And he ends up going on one last quest before all that. Because we find out that there's this shape-shifting animal out there who is trying to steal the powers of other Kung Fu masters and just cause chaos and take over the world. And there just so happens to be this little fox who knows where this shape-shifting badass is. And it's like, this fox gets in a little bit of mischief, gets thrown into prison because of Po. And Poe's like, well, if you help me find this bad guy, I'll see what I can do about getting your sentence reduced. So let's go on this journey together. And we find out more about this character. This character is an orphan who was raised on the streets, had to learn how to steal and lie and do whatever it took to survive, and doesn't have any family or friends really. And she kind of learns a little bit from Poe, and they kind of bond a bit. And it's cute because it's like, we know where this is going, but it's like, oh boy, I wonder who could be the next person to take over the mantle from Poe. Maybe this character who's spending the whole time learning kung fu from him and going on an epic quest. I don't know. It's nice. It's interesting. You can tell people were having a fun time, and I really like the teaming up because the new character is played by Awkwafina. So this is the second pairing of Awkwafina and Jack Black, and I like those two together. And she just has this scrappiness that lends pretty well to this character. And yeah, and the action is pretty fun. Like, there's good fight scenes in it, as you can imagine by a movie about kung fu. The animation, there's some interesting animation. I was hoping that this is DreamWorks. I was hoping they'd get a little bit of the animation from Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, but not the case. But still, the CG is very good in this. It's nice and rich, which I dug. And it had good instrumental music in the background. And there was a side quest. In the last movie, Poe meets his real father. Poe grew up being raised by a goose. And in the last movie, he found his actual panda dad, voiced by Bryan Cranston. And in this movie, now Poe's living with his two dads. And the two dads are running this noodle shop together. And when Poe goes on this quest, they're both very concerned for him. And so they're going out to look for their boy to make sure he doesn't get into trouble. So we're watching these two inept kind of guys going out trying to, and it's a great pairing because it's like who plays the dad who's the goose? James Hong. So you got these two very great characters with gravitas, just having fun, doing goofy things. And like, Brian Cox. Sorry, what was that?
Bryan Cranston. I was going to say, you got these two like crotchety dudes kind of like snapping at each other.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, they're not. They get along perfectly. They're like best friends. And I imagine they would have been enemies. And like Bryan Cranston's character is nothing. He, like Poe, he's kind of afraid of things. And at one point he has to pretend to be Poe to scare some people to get some results. And it was kind of funny and cute. And then you get to see like the peaceful way of doing things with James Hong. I don't know. Everyone's given a good performance. Dustin Hoffman's doing great as the Master Shifu character. We get Ian McShane. He's back as the character, the big bad villain from the first movie. He's kind of back in this one. We get Ki-Hu Kwan. He's always fantastic. He plays someone who's kind of assisting our main characters here and there. Okay. And I will say, we don't get the Furious Five. We don't get Lucy Liu, Angelina Jolie, Seth Rogen, David Cross, and Jackie Chan, but they make up why they're not there. They're like, well, they're all on their own mission. Here's what they're doing, and it's like, you just didn't want to pay these people to come back. That's fucked up. Come on, guys. But maybe they show up in the end just in time to help out. Maybe their voices are there. Maybe they're not. I don't know. It's just a fun time. I really enjoyed it. I really thought the franchise was over because they sold the last movie as the final movie. And then there's apparently 4 seasons of an actual continuation story on Netflix that I've never seen with Jack Black voicing it. And I'm like, do I need to see that to see this? Apparently not, because I didn't, and I still got what was happening. Sure. And like we were talking off mic, I had to stay through the credits to listen to Hit Me One More Time, Baby One More Time, because it's been stuck in my head with the D performing Britney Spears. Yes. They worked that into the end of the movie, and it's always nice to hear Tenacious D pop up. The second time, I guess third time, you get the Pick of Destiny. They were in the Chip and Dale's movie. There was one of their songs, and then you got this. I'm like, I love it. Overall, I had a blast watching this. I really didn't know if I was going to like it or not. I liked the other ones, but I really liked this one. I did see it in 3D. Nothing was really worthwhile in 3D. Nothing really popped out, and I was kind of let down. But overall,
especially for a fully
Jack Black,
film.
Yeah. And some movies like Puss in Boots, great animation. One that really knocked my socks off was that movie Migration that came out a few months back.
Oh,
And I'm like, all right,
yeah,
so
yeah.
3D could be making a comeback. And then I'm like, oh, not with this one. But I will say, Jack Black and Awkwafina have a great rapport together, and their characters are just top notch. And I'd watch them do another movie together like this. I'm going to give Kung Fu Panda 4 3 slices of toast. Definitely worth checking out if you get some little ones.
The best movie of the episode right there.
Uh-huh.
Finish out on top. I like that. Well, there you go.
100%.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Might have to finally wade my way through these 4 films now that they got this many out there. Now,
They're pretty good.
Is there is that movie something that could potentially be an entry point? Like, could you just start on the 4th one? Would you be missing a lot? Is it better
you wouldn't be missing anything, but you definitely wouldn't get some of the callbacks and you wouldn't understand every single thing. But as a standalone, you could probably understand what's going on. You just don't have the buildup of watching like him become the kung fu master that he is, going from this bubbling little panda. You don't get to see the relationship with his father. You don't get to see different things, but you can still enjoy this movie on its own, I think. Yeah. I'd say so, but you'd have more to draw from if you see the other
appreciation for like the gravity of certain things. Yeah, for sure. Well, nice. Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, dang, folks. All right. Like I said before, like finishing out on top. I like that the highest review was there at the end, and it's still by this point still in theaters. It's still rolling. If you're considering checking 100%. It out, maybe the crowd is cut down a little bit, but then again, maybe not. I think it's the only animated family film in theaters for a minute.
I think there's still some stuff floating around there. Like I think that Migration movie I was talking about still out there somehow, and it came out in December, I think. And I don't know. I feel like there could be another one. Speaking of animated movies, I watched the trailer for the Chris Pratt Garfield movie.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The look on your face says it all, man. And for those on the podcast, it's not hopeful,
rough,
mind you.
Yeah. It just looks like people are doing stuff for a paycheck. Will I see it? 100%.
Dude, yeah.
Do I hope it's going to be better than what I'm expecting? I doubt it. I doubt it will be.
I'm getting tired of the Chris Pratt flag getting flown in so many different corners of things. I'm just like, dude, I don't get a project that it sounds like you're invested in for once, because I'm tired of seeing so many movies go by that it just sounds like it's getting half-assed, or it's so not you. It's so out of place. That shitty Amazon movie that just I didn't buy him as Mario. I don't like him as a fucking
I liked him as
Raptor
Mario.
Wrangler. I think Charlie Day was a fucking incredible choice. That was amazing casting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's just Mario in general. I wanted to like it more. It should have been the fucking Peach movie. That would have been.
I don't know. I still rather enjoyed it a lot, but I get it. Not for everyone.
Too pratty in here.
Like, but that's the issue. We have the chance. If he were to do a Mario accent, people would be angry. So he kind of did his own voice for the most part. People get angry. There's no winning. I feel like if you're doing Mario, I know you need to sell actors to get asses in the seats, but just go with the dude who played Mario, man. That would have made everyone happy. You could have had everyone else in the movie could have been everyone you cast, and just have the homeboy that did Mario. Even though now Mario's voice has changed.
Well, because didn't he pass away? Like,
no, he's still alive. I think he just retired.
Oh, he retired. Oh, fuck. Okay, oh my God, my bad. That's right. He retired as the voice of Mario, because he's been doing it for like 30, 40 years.
Oh yeah.
So
easily.
Years. So it's
the voice that we grew up with.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to hear too. And if it's not that, then then don't do it at all. Like, don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Too bad Bob Hoskins wasn't around.
Oh, John Leguizamo. That would have been hilarious. They should have at least been in the movie somewhere. That would have been
Right.
funny.
Well, I think Bob's dead, but John Leguizamo,
Yes.
yeah,
There we
100%.
go.
Put him in there. Put him in
Oh.
everything. I love John Leguizamo.
Oh, fuck yeah. Absolutely.
Fantastic
Agreed.
performer. Comedy, action, drama. He can do it all.
That he can.
Yeah. But
Well, folks, as you know, if you're listening to us here, you probably have heard about it. But we're in a few social media platforms, one or two.
we are.
You should come
You
check
can
us
say
out
that.
At movie_toast, available over on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We got some great videos. If you're watching us right now, we're also a podcast. Check out your favorite podcasting platforms, and we will be there. I know Google's migrating over to their thing.
Yeah,
they're
heads
getting
up
rid of
on
Google
that.
Podcast.
Google
There's a-
Podcasts is going away. You can then go to Yahoo Music. YouTube Music is going to be the new. Yeah, I don't know.
That will be the new platform.
Yeah.
You can find us on Amazon under their podcast tab. It's
Spotify.
That's right. Please give us a listen.
Wherever you get your podcasts, check it out.
Absolutely. Maybe you got yourself a little short film.
Mm.
Maybe we get some eyeballs on that short film. We got Movie Toast the Festival coming back this December. The festival.
4 years running.
Yeah, baby.
We ain't stopping anytime soon.
Nope. And the flicks keep getting better and better. It's incredible to keep
some talented motherfuckers out there.
Fuck yes. Oh man. And
makes me envious that we're not making shit.
Maybe
besides this show
on display for you guys. We'll force you to watch our short film in the middle of watching.
No, we can't do that. That's rough.
Well, folks, it's happening again. We don't have the date yet for the premiere for the live event.
It'll be in December.
It'll be in December for sure.
Holidays.
As always, please come check it out. It'll be streaming live on YouTube. But until then, if you've got some flicks to enter or you know someone who's got a short film, please come check us out at filmfreeway.com/movietoastthefestival.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, Adam. Maybe can't do.
I mean, they could. Maybe, I don't know, leave us a review wherever they get their podcast, possibly Apple Podcast. Like to know what works, what doesn't work. Want to improve the show for you. Because why else do the show if you don't like it? Or if you do love it, what do you love and we can improve upon? Yeah. What can we get rid of if you hate? I don't know. We want to know. We want to hear back from you.
Give us that
value. You to be a part of the show.
Feedback. Yeah, we want to punch it up and make it the best golden delicious piece of toast you could possibly get warm and toasty for you. And folks, if anything, please, as always,
stay toasty.
Stay toasty, folks.
Stay toasty. We gotta figure out what that actually means. Could be so many things.
It's left to the interpretation of the listener, the viewer.
That's true.
The warm, bubbly goodness of just having that delicious piece of toast. Maybe something slightly more erotic. I don't know. I don't tell you how to feel when you listen to us.
I mean,
whatever works.
Hey,
for
as
you.
long as they're listening and not harming anybody or anything, fuck it. Do it.
Right.
Whatever makes you happy. We're not judging. I mean, yeah, we will judge, but we won't tell you we're judging.
Do I make you brand?
If you had a podcast, we'd fucking go over to leave a review and we'd be like, hey, stop fucking that toast. That's fucking weird.
It's gross.
Because we're honest.
Get the mic a little further back because it's quite loud.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm hearing. The crumbs are going everywhere.
Should use some more butter.
There's the splooge.
Oh.
I don't know what noise that makes, but it makes something.
It's a sound.
Did you make the hole big enough? Too big? Too small? You gotta do your research, man. I don't know. Are you teabagging it? I don't know where the hell this is going, Dennis.
Maybe it's a pretzel. I don't know either.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
How does that work?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't want to know. Oh, man.
Have a party.
I guess so.
Pretzel party.
Don't invite us to that party. I'm staying home. by myself because I don't want to see that. Don't want to be a part of that. Whew. I guess we should wrap this bad boy up, huh?
I think it's about that time to hit the old dusty trail, folks. Thank you for joining us. And
hopefully you had a good time listening. Yeah.
Next time you hear from us, it'll be coming from Anaheim.
What? They sent the badges. They're on their way. I got the confirmation. Nice, you get that email too?
I may have. Hoping so.
You haven't checked your email, have you? You son of a bitch.
I didn't see that yet.
There's no schedule. I'm losing my mind. I want to schedule. We did get one invite to do some interview of some, I don't know, we can talk off mic about that. But yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Stay toasty.